2 minutes of Torah. This year is entitled Reading God's Messages. Parshat Shmini. Tragic event, Nadav and Avihu's deaths. And God, obviously, Paskin, the Chayiv Misa, they must die. Moshe is trying to console Aaron. And he says, this is what God said. This is what God's message was, that I will be sanctified through people who are close to me. So the question is, where did God say that? Rashi, Ibn Ezra, Perik Yud, Pasuk Gimel, Vayikra, try to find where did God say this, and each of them find the source. Ramban says God did not say it. Don't look for Psukim, Rashi and Ibn Ezra. You're not going to find where he said, you won't find those words. And you're looking for words that don't exist. So what do you mean? But Moshe said to Aaron, this is what God said. Hu Asher Diber, this is what God said. So Ramban, what do you mean? This is not what God said. Moshe said, he said it. In an unbelievable chiddush, a novel idea, he says when Moshe said to Aaron, this is what God said, that through my holiest of people, that's how I'll be sanctified. He didn't say those words. That's why Rashi and Ibn Ezra are wrong, according to Ramban, for looking those words. It is through God's actions that he made this point clear. It's through God's actions that he gave over this idea that God may take the holiest of people in a sudden and dramatic way to teach some lessons about the intensity of Avodah in the Mikdash, about the seriousness, and that sometimes no slack is cut. There wasn't any words that God said. There are no psukim that will back this up. It's through God's actions. So Rav Shimon Schwab takes this Ramban and says we must be able to listen to God's commands through his words, through his Nevi'im, through the prophets, and through the actions that he does to us. And Rav Schwab has a trailblazing chiddush in the Tefillah. After Shema, right by Ezra Avotenu, it says, Udvarcha Yasim Ali Bo. What does the Tefillah say? It talks about Ashrei Ha'am, Ashrei Adam. Blessed is the person who goes ahead. Blessed is the person who listens to Dvarcha Yasim Ali Bo. So Rav Schwab says, it's right after Shema by Ezra Avotenu. What's the Dvarcha Yasim Ali Bo? The pasuk itself, the open words of the psukim and the mitzvah, that's already said in the tefillah. What is Udvarcha Yasim Ali Bo? What is God putting on our heart? Messages that he sends to us. God sends messages to us. We need to read them to understand them, make sense of them. And each person has to go ahead and decipher these codes. This is not a simple task at all. We're so biased that we can easily misread messages that occur in our lives and interpret them sometimes in the exact opposite manner. But we must try our best. Maybe have a chavruta, a rebbe, and say, this and this has been happening to me. What do you think? What do you think the message here is? What should I take from this story, from this event, from my, quote, lousy luck? What do you think the message here is? So Rav Schwab takes Ramban's idea. Hu Asher Diber, Moshe said, Aaron, this is what God said. Ramban says he didn't say it. He taught it through messages. So Rav Schwab takes this a step further. This wasn't only a message that God performed and gave over to Aaron and Moshe, but in our lives, God sends messages. Udvarcha Yasim Ali Bo. We must do our best to understand the messages, decipher the messages, and of course, internalize them. Shalom.